I've exposed a lot of corrupt organizations, specifically the ones calling themselves anti-trafficking groups, that were posing as part of the solution, but that are actually part of the problem. So let's talk about it. This is another layer of the problem of why child trafficking and exploitation is thriving in our country. I first want to say thank you to all the people who are willing to be aware. It's not everybody, but to those who are, and most specifically to those who are actually willing to do something to help, to those asking how they can help. Thank you. I don't think there's a good excuse for any of us not to jump in and protect children. I just know there's a lot of people willing to do nothing. I'm here to change that, so thank you for listening. I was born and raised in one of the most abusive international cults in modern history. It was a Christian cult. I've done a lot of talking, unpacking the patterns of cults and organized religion, and these patterns that still play out today in society and in politics and in a lot of different realms of our society. I want to unpack how these same patterns manifest in many of these organizations that are pretending to be part of the solution, but that are actually part of the problem. And I'm only focusing on the ones that are specifically harmful for kids, because yes, there are a lot of bad things in this world today. I personally am biased, and I feel like if we can't protect children, we don't have a future, so let's start there. That being said, there are many groups that call themselves anti-trafficking that are simply exploiting the problem. When I started combating trafficking several years ago, I expected to uncover a lot of corruption and many obstacles. I did not expect to uncover and identify the amount of corruption from within the organizations pretending to combat trafficking. Most of them that I've encountered are actually just anti-porn or anti-sex work. Basically, they're focusing on a completely different body of water, but they're raising millions of dollars in the name of combating trafficking. But they're not combating trafficking, so I call that exploiting the problem, which is definitely part of the problem. On a bigger picture, there are a lot of organizations that get government contracts and are able to take children into their care. And these organizations can be extremely harmful for children. This has gone on for many administrations, many decades. So don't even try to politicize this. Just look at some recent history. Look at the contracts in South Texas. Look at all the NGOs. Look at the religious fronts. I just want to burst your bubble if you're going to be like, yes, but yay God, or yay the politician that I like, and guess what? It's all of them. Sorry if you haven't figured that out yet. Here's some truth you need to realize before we even move on, because protecting children is not a red issue or a blue issue. This industrial style harm to children has been happening for decades, and they're all in on it. And most of them use the front of yay God, because a lot of y'all are falling for it. I'm here to change that. Stay tuned for more.